The value of our work is getting lower, but the cost of business is getting higher. And for traditional PCs, it is difficult for enterprise to prevent data leakage or security protection unless you cost a lot of money on professional desktop management software. And once your PC broken, it will be hard to recover it quickly. Moreover, if your hard disk is damaged, your important data would be lost. And we all know there are more and more demands for mobile work. It is difficult for traditional PC to support mobile access. But the VDI architecture can solve this problem very well. We can use your laptop, tablet, or mobile phone to access the virtual desktop in any time, anywhere. This is VDI solution. You can see all physical desktop application and data can be migrated to cloud. Users only need to use one terminal to receive the image. And through centralized management, all operations and maintenance can be done at the headquarters, which requires very little labor. And the key value of VDI, here take a brief summarize. One is data security. All data is stored in cloud and secured. Second is easy operation. You can easily manage all virtual machines through centralized management. And the third is reliability. Not only fault replacement, but also expansion or upgrade is very convenient. Okay, after talking about why we need VDI, let's take a look at the Sangfor VDI solution in detail. Sorry, let me show. Yeah, this is Sangfor VDI architecture. First, you can see the hardware layer. The hardware we can use our all-in-one server or choose third-party servers. We support install the software on any standard x86 servers. This is same as HCI, okay? And we can virtualize your compute resource, storage resource. You can create virtual machines on it. This virtual machines layer is our centralized management platform. We call it VMP. Okay, which this is provide a running environment for all virtual machines. And we also support the GPU virtualization used in some 3D and development scenarios. On top of this, you can see we have another component, which is our virtual desktop controller. We call it VDC. All policy and maintenance operations are completed through VDC. Like you can create multiple authentication policies, you can set endpoint security policies, you can do centralized operations, and so on through VDC. And our VDC have hardware VDC and software VDC. Last part is our terminal, which mainly used to receive virtual machines images and console instructions. We can flexibly support multiple terminals. In different scenarios, you can choose different methods. For example, if you are working in an ordinary office or 2D design, we recommend this ARM thin client STD200. And if you use door display or 3D design, you can choose our x86 thin client, this STD500. And you can also use your computer or mobile phone. You just need to install a VDI software application. Then you can achieve secure mobile office. This is a main components build the VDI architecture. Okay. And this is what our VDI solution can bring to you. We can bring a more secure, effective, smooth, and stable solution. Like our secured venue, you can see first, we have multiple authentication methods to ensure account security. We support local authentication, third-party authentication, SMS, USB key, hardware future code, and dynamic password authentication, etc. The most used in enterprises is to do single sign-on in combination with Active Directory domain server. You only need to use your domain account to log in to VDI, and then you can enter the domain virtual machine. And we have end-to-end security design. You can see all these security controls that we support, from access security, network security, desktop security, data security, terminal security, isolation security, and management security. We have full security protection. Like desktop security, we mainly ensure desktop security by controlling applications or processes. VDI does not directly kill viruses, but it can detect if there is an antivirus process. And we have a complete solution combined with our ADR product, which is a powerful terminal antivirus software I have introduced last 2 weeks. Okay. And for data security, there is no data stored locally. All data is stored in the cloud, in our on-premise cloud or in our on-premise cloud. And we can control USB copy. We can audit exported document. And we support the function of desktop anti-screenshot. We support desktop watermark to prevent data leakage. This is our security design. And you can see detailed, this is audit exported documents. This is one of our built-in function. Actually, this only Sangfor solution can audit exporting document. And here we support screen watermark and anti-screenshot. So here, if you have data leakage prevention needs, our VDI solution can meet very well. And second, our efficient management. You can, as you can see here, you can set up desktops rapidly. We can set up 100 desktops in 5 minutes. Improve the speed of IT response. And we have you can handle failures quickly, and it's easy management, personalized control policies, and we have pooled module desktop. For delivered pooled module desktop, this is a form of virtual machines resource distribution. This pooled module desktop. This module is mainly used in some public scenarios. This virtual machine is not bound to a specific users, but it is bound to whoever wants to use it, and it will be automatically released when it is no longer needed. And here you can see this is our unified intuitive control panel. You can easily manage all virtual machines through this platform, and you can master all your resource standards in the homepage. And easy management, we support do application management. We can control the application of the terminal. And we support, we can create remote application. The terminal only receives an application, not the whole virtual machines, such as a browser screen or an office screen. So this is a remote application. And for GPU server, we have vGPU solution and pass-through solution. Okay, you can flexibly choose. It can flexibly support various scenarios and improve the utilization of GPU. This is our vGPU solution. And the third one, for smooth. In addition to security and efficient, we must need to ensure the user experience, right? We have multiple self-development protocols. And the more important technology is our SRAP and HTML5 redirection, which can greatly improve transmission efficiency by 6 times and greatly improve the terminal user experience. This is our Sangfor self-development protocols. And zero bus driver mapping technology. This can guarantee the compatibility of various peripherals, give users a better peripheral experience. This is our zero bus driver mapping technology. Last one is our stable design. Here you can see, in order to ensure the stability of the platform, our high reliability design covers network layer, server layer, and storage layer. In network layer, we have a separate design for business communication port and storage communication port. And we can do port aggregation to ensure network stability. In server layer, we have cluster design and virtual machines dynamic migration. That means in the cluster, when one host fails, the virtual machines can be automatically put up on other hosts. Or when one host doesn't have enough resources, such as memory has been used more than 90%, the virtual machines can automatically adjust their running locations to hosts with no resource usage. This avoids business failures due to overloading of a host resources. Okay. And in storage layer, we have multi-copies design, distributed virtual storage, and we have built-in backup function. Let's see this slide. You can choose 2 or 3 copies for all data. And here is a 3 copy. A virtual machine's data will be divided into 3 copies and stored on different hosts. There are exactly 3 hosts here, so each host will save a copy of the data. If there are 4 hosts here, then the data will be stored in 3 of them in a distributed manner. And any failure of 1 or 2 servers will have no effect. Then look at this. When a host is abnormal, it only takes a few minutes to restore the business. However, traditional PC may take 2 hours to recovery. And our HA and data backup design will ensure the business continuity. Last is a cost saving. Here we can look at the overall total cost of ownership comparison between traditional PC and VDI. Although in the initial period, the total investment cost of VDI will be higher than that of PC due to the need to deploy VDI software. Okay, just this part. But we can compare the follow-up operating costs. The cost of man and time invested in traditional PCs is much higher than VDI, you can see. Therefore, in the long term, choosing VDI is a cost-effective investment. Here we look at a simple scenario. The problem we face in traditional desktop usually is high cost and difficult to management. There is so mess in the computer room. After we use VDI, what we have changed, we only need to deploy a server plus a thin client. We have a clean and tidy environment. We have efficient maintenance and greatly flexibility to choose different methods to access virtual machines. To summarize, using the VDI architecture, we don't need more IT neighbor, just one management platform, and the entire architecture is one server and one terminal. It's greatly reduces the difficulty to deployment and improves your maintenance efficiency. Especially for support. Every time there is a problem, you may need to contact many people from different vendors to deal with it. But with VDI architecture, you only need to contact one vendor to help you handle all the problems. This is a difference between the traditional PC and VDI. And here we can see some case study, case reference. One is Merkel, the City University of Merkel. The custom background, this university is a private university. And what challenges they may face. The customer usually spend a lot of time to power on, power off all PCs every day. And they need to reinstall the Windows system. And traditional PCs have high failure rate and hard to upgrade PC performance. And there is no authentication, no effective authentication methods to connect to the internet. This is the challenges they faced. And after deployed or VDI, what benefits they have get? Or we can do scheduled power on, power off policy. Okay, it can auto recovery Windows system after reboot. And we can easily adjust the PC's specifications if needed. We can expand the CPU, the RAM, and the disk. And or VDI can integrate with Sangfor IAG for single sign-on authentication. We can control your internet behavior easily. And the second case reference, you can see the 12306 Chinese Railway Customer Service Center. This is the largest high-speed rail ticketing platform in China. What challenges they faced? Also, the high failure rate for traditional PC, and the decentralized management caused a huge operation and maintenance workload. It's face bigger challenges for IT department. And for security, there is no safety factors, and as well as some performance settings and construction practice. But use or Sangfor VDI solutions, you can see the values we bring to the customers. First, the value income. The new Sangfor desktop cloud system has more efficient and customer-friendly user experience. And the thin client has a lower failure rate. And this one-click recovery, when a fault occurs, only needs to restore the configuration back to the original state, and you can recover your desktop. And most is a centralized operation and maintenance. IT administrators can perform unified patch upgrades, the unified environment setting, and the fault recovery on the disk image stored in the server side. So it's easy to do the remote. It's easy to do the troubleshooting. Okay, we can do troubleshooting from the server side. No need to go on site. And the data is more safe and controllable. The new disk cloud office system centralized store the data and offer various security access policies. As well as this code is similar the challenges and we have bring the easy management and the central management and more security systems to the customer. Okay, this is the first part. I have introduced our VDI architecture or VDI highlights value and some case reference. So next part, I will introduce the detailed configuration and the deployment of our platform. So far, any questions we can discuss? Okay, if no questions, I continue to introduce the deployment of platform. The second part, installing and initializing VMP and VDC. First, let's see how to install Sangfor VMP. There is two methods. As I told before, we have all-in-one servers. If you use our all-in-one servers, the server has integrated VMP software by default. You can use it when you power on it. Okay. And the second one is if you use third-party server, we support install or VMP software on any standard x86 servers. So if you want to use a third-party server, before we install, we need to evaluate the server specifications in advance. Here is our recommended hardware requirement. This is our recommend hardware requirements. Okay, the CPU and the RAM. The RAM would be better if you have more than 128 gigabit, and the hard disks we recommend. One is a system disk, and one is a cache disk and the data disk. Okay, and the network card 1 GB or 10 GB is okay. And the USB ports. This is our recommended hardware requirements. And this is a minimum hardware requirements. Minimum hardware requirements. You can at least is 4 gigabit RAM. And for hard disks, we need to install the system. So the system disk at least 60 gigabit. And the network card also 1 GB or 10 GB. Only need one. The recommended requirements we can we need 3. Okay, this is minimized. But especially note that there is only a condition for installing the platform. Okay, this requirement is only a condition for install the platform. You also need to consider the resource required by the user for each virtual machine. For example, if you need to create 10 virtual machines, each virtual machine needs 4 cores and 4G RAM. Then you need at least 40 cores and 40 GB RAM more. This, if you want to deploy virtual machines, you need more. You need another resources considered. Okay. And then we need to do a pre-installation preparation. First, we need to check BIOS settings. The BIOS settings, we need to enable Intel VTX. Means we need to open virtualized technology. Okay, this is for hardware. And we need to disable power saving mode to ensure the better performance for our platform. And synchronize BIOS time, restore on AC power loss, and select UEFI or legacy boot. Here has display. We can select legacy boot for normal use because it has better compatibility. And if you have more than 2 TB, we can select UEFI boot. And this is a detailed interface for how to configure the BIOS. And the second one, we need to use preparation tools. Make a USB boot disk. Okay, first we download the VMP ISO image, and then we use Ultra ISO software to make USB bootable boot disk. This is a detailed ISO writing steps. First, launch Ultra ISO and open ISO files, and then write disk image. Just follow the guide and click write. Then wait the complete of burn ISO. Okay, after successful burn ISO, we can insert the USB key to the server and choose USB as first start. And open the servers. It will jump to this page. We choose install. We can choose install Sangfor VMP, and follow the guide to complete the install process. Okay, after installation completed, we need to remove the USB and before we boot the server. And to jump to this interface, it means the installation is successful and the server has opened, has started. This interface displays the management port IP. You can see the management port IP. Okay, after installation, we start to initialize the configuration. First, log into VMP. This is the default IP and default account. Okay. And once you have changed the IP and you forgot the new managed IP, you can connect the server to monitor via VGA port, and the IP will show on main page. You can see. Here I briefly introduce about our license edition. We have 2 editions. One is standard edition. This is for free. Okay, free edition. So it has a valid period. It's usually for 60 days. The validity is 60 days. And another is our enterprise edition. This is paid. Okay, for paid. And there is no validity. You can use for a long time. Okay. And this is our license key. VMP requires USB key for listening, and Yeah, you can see usually the new installation VMP firmware and the receipt factory default will have 60 trial days. The 60 trial days we use the standard edition. And when USB key is removed, license will expire after 30 days. And after it's expired, we cannot to power on virtual machines, but there is no effect to existing running virtual machine. Okay, this is different. And this red USB key is for POC, and the gold USB key for purchased customer. Okay, after introduce the lessons, then we start to initiate the platform. First one, we need to build cluster. What is cluster? You can see all physical nodes resource will be integrated into a resource pool. Because we can virtualize your compute storage, all these resources will build a resource pool. Okay, and we can do centralized management and resource coordination. The requirements for load clustering. First one, all physical nodes must have the same VMP firmware version. And the cluster IP and managed IP is recommended under the same segment. This is the requirements for load clustering. And here is the steps to add a cluster node. In the loads, and we can click add node. We can click add node and follow the next. We can choose the same segment nodes and print the username and password and configure the cluster IP. It's recommended under the same segment. Okay, and wait some time, the loads clustering will successful. After build the cluster, then we need to initiate the virtual storage. The virtual storage, we just follow this wizard. It will ask you to select select loads and choose deployment mode. The deployment mode, you can see here we have 3 deployment mode. One is link aggregation disable. Another is link aggregation with 1 switch. And the third one is link aggregation with 2 switches. This depend on different scenarios. If you only have 1 switch, we can choose link aggregation with 1 switch, just like this. Each server connect 2 cables. And if you have 2 switch, yeah, we can choose a link aggregation with 2 switches. In these scenarios, even if 1 switch is failure, there is no effect for the storage. Okay, and yeah, we choose here. We choose the interface. Choose the nodes and select the disks. Here we choose a 2 copy or 3 copies. And the use of disk. Use of disk, we can choose we have 3 types of disks. One is data disk, another is cache disk, and the third one is spare disk. For cache disk, usually we use a SSD to improve the IO to improve the IO performance. Okay, you can see. Actually, this will automatically choose, but you can change the you can change the usage of this disk. And then here print the password and confirm. And confirm. And in this page, it has successfully initialized the virtual storage. You can see the total storage resource standards, the used and available storage capability, capacity. Sorry. Okay. Actually, these two, after we build the cluster and initialize the virtual storage, or VMP has been or VMP configuration has been done. Okay, we have built the virtual management platform. Next part is to install the VDC, the virtual desktop controller. Usually, if we deploy the virtual the software VDC, we just import the VDC files to the VMP. Okay, the default VDC specification is 2 cores, 2 GB, and 4 network card. You can see the configuration. Here we click new, create a new virtual machines, and then we choose the system, the operation system. Here, we choose the operation system as a virtualization desktop controller, which is a VDC, and we can configure IP in advance. It's managed IP. Yeah, and after click OK, we just to start these virtual machines. And we can use the managed IP plus the port 4403 to log into the VDC console. Okay. After logging in the VDC, also we need to activate the license. The license is bound to the key ID. We need to activate the license. Okay, this is a deployment of VMP and VDC. This part. Next part, I will introduce the detailed about create virtual machines and set policies. Let's continue. Okay, here display the desk deployment guide. First one, we can see how to create a new virtual machines in VMP, and then we can see how to create a policy to derive multiple virtual machines. After the VDI is initialized, then we need to perform the following configuration process to create a virtual machine and derive many virtual machines to users. The process just like 3 steps. One is create a new virtual machine in VMP, and then convert it into template. And then third one, we build VDC from. We use this template to derive much more virtual machines. Here we can see the detail. Also, click new virtual machines. We can here we have 3 methods. One is create new virtual machines, use ISO image, and third one, we can clone the existing virtual machines, or we can import virtual machines through the VMA files. This is detailed steps. If we want to create a new virtual machines, we need to upload ISO first, and then choose and create a new virtual machine. You can see here we upload, and after upload, we can create new virtual machines. Yeah, this how to upload ISO. We have multiple methods. Usually we can upload while creating new virtual machines. We can upload directly from here. Okay, and once we upload, then we choose this ISO image file, and here we can choose the operation system we can change the processor, the memory, and the disks. Okay, after set this configuration, and then we power on the virtual machines. We power on the virtual machines and follow the system's installation guide and finish the virtual machines installation. It will jump to this page. This means we have installed the Windows. Okay, and after finishing installing the operation system, we can install some software that's usually used for the common used for users on the virtual machine. Okay, we can install the Microsoft Office and some IME tools, etc. And then the second step, convert virtual machines into template. First one, why we need to convert virtual machines to template? Because the VDC will use this template to deploy virtual machines. And all virtual machines is identical to the template. And any changes in template, we can easily push to all virtual machines. So this easy need to do upgrade. Okay, here load, we need to install VDI agent. So why we need to install the agent? Because we need to control, or we need to set policies through VDC. The VDC can control your virtual machines or is based on agent. Okay. So what is a VDI agent? The VDI agent can improve your network and RAM performance and provide accurate virtual machines running information. Here display how to download the VDI agent. Yeah, and if you want to uninstall the VDI, we can uninstall in the system. Okay, after this, after install the agent, we can convert virtual machines to template. We just click the virtual machines more, and here will option to convert to template. Yeah, once it's convert to the template, you can see there is a captain in the left corner. For this virtual machine, it has a template. Then the last one, we need to set policy from VDC. Okay, the process, first one is configure VMP on VDC and add new users, create resources, and create roles. This is a detailed configuration process. First, the VMP must be configured on VDC in order to synchronize the information. In the VMP, we need to add the VMP platform management address. And yeah, here create the URL, username, and password. And then the VDC will synchronize all information to the VMP. And then the important configuration before able to access web device, we need to create users and create resources, create rules, and then do some settings for virtual machines. You can see here in the users, we can create users. We can create a local username and password, or we can integrate it with third-party authentication servers. And resources. Here you can see once we create the virtual storage, this VDI options, so we can jump. Yeah, here, the virtual machines. You can see here will ask you to choose the virtual machines template. Yeah, here we'll choose the virtual machines template. And we need to select the template when 10 or when 11. Also, we can support. And here we'll choose a personal drive. And the next one, we just need to add. Choose how many virtual machines you want to create. Here, display 5 virtual machines. If you want to create 100 virtual machines, you just need to create 100. Okay, and then this virtual machines will be created followed by the template. Once virtual machine created successful, all virtual machines will display in here. Will display here. We can see all virtual machines standards here, and we can do the we can do the central we can do the central IP setting, and we can associate it specific users. Okay, and the last part is create rules. This rules is to assign users and associated the resources, just like the bound users and the resource, bound users and the virtual machines, just like this. Here we select the specific users and choose the resource. In this way, actually, we can do the control through this rules policy. We can assign different resources to different users. Okay. And here detailed the more detailed about the desktop type, because we have 3 types. One is the dedicated type and the restored type, and yeah, there's 2 actually. Or another is restored floating pool mode. Yes, the pool mode. We have these 3 types. The dedicated mode. The dedicated mode actually is for your private virtual machines. Okay, these virtual machines will be stored and not get don't get changed even the users restart the machines. This is a dedicated mode. And the restore mode, the biggest difference is once you restart your virtual machines, all configurations will be restored to the original disk. Okay, it will be recovery to the original standards. And this pool mode, actually, I have introduced is it will not bound to specified specific users. It will bound to the users who want to use it, and it will be automatically unbound after the users log out. Okay, this is a pool mode. Yeah, here's the effect display. This is how to create the virtual machines. And the next part is how the terminal connect to the virtual machines. Okay, after we create the virtual machines, we need to access this VMs through different methods. You can see methods of endpoint connects to virtual machines. We support three methods to connect to virtual machine. One is Sangfor client, Sangfor thin client. Okay, and another is the VDI client. This is a software applications. You can use your PC, your laptop, and another is Easy Connect or VDI client. This is used for mobile. Or thin client actually has a STD100, STD200, and STD500. Usually we choose this two black one. The one is STD200 and the one is STD500. I remember I have introduced this. The STD200 is ARM architecture. ARM. Okay, is ARM architecture used for 2D or ordinary office. And STD500 is x86 architecture. Okay, these two different architecture. And how to access with Sangfor desk. This is a configuration page of thin client. First one, we need to configure the thin client's IP, and we need to set VDC address. This is a VDC management IP, and then we can log in with VDI account. Okay, this authentication, actually this is the authentication policies. I will introduce later how to create authentication policy. And also this is a account policy. Ask you to change the password. And once we log in, we can see the resource we can access. Here is only one resource. Actually, we can bound 2 or 3 different types of virtual machines, like Win10, like Win7, Win10, Win11, or Linux resources. Also, we can bound to one users. So we click on the resource, and it will jump to the virtual machines. Yeah, you can see this we access the virtual machine successful. The second method, we use VDI client. This is our VDI client. Is a software application you can download. From VDC. Actually, when you access to the VDC IP, it will jump to this page to ask you to download VDI client. Okay. You can download and install. And the login process is same as a thin client. You just pre-enter your username and password and access to the virtual machines. Okay, just like this. And for mobile, also we use a VDI client. This is same for ISO client and Android client. We install this application first, and pre-enter username and password. Yeah, just like this. We enter VDC IP and click connect, create the username and password, and sign in. Here you can see here is multiple resource. There is 4 types of resource. We can choose one to access. If you want to use a GPU, you click the GPU virtual machines. Okay, if you want to use Linux virtual machines, you click this Ubuntu. And if you just only want to use a remote application, here publish a Chrome browser page. You just only click this Chrome. Okay, this web, this browser. Okay, and the last one, the process of access virtual machines. This is a detailed process about how we get the virtual machines. First, you can see the desk, the thin client. The thin client will connect to the to the VDC for authentication. Okay, and then request virtual machines resource. Once VDC get this request, the VDC will obtain the virtual machines standards from VMP. If if the virtual machine is not powered on, it will send the power on request, and the VMP will start the virtual machine and establish a virtual channel with a virtual machine. Okay, the third step, and then the agent servers of virtual machine starts will connect to the VDC and reports the standards of virtual machine. After that, the thin client will connect to the VMP, obtain the virtual machines, and form a VPN tunnel and use virtual machines security. Okay, this is the whole process. The theme as a PC and mobile or mobile, you can just see first the PC send a request to the virtual machine, send request to the VDC, VDC send a request to the VMP starts virtual machines, and virtual machines will feed back the standards to the VDC. It will tell VDC, I'm okay, I can be connected. Okay, then the laptop can connect to the VMP and get the right to use virtual machines. And here has the precautions if you need to access the virtual machines through the public network. We need to do port mapping, port forwarding of 443 port, okay, to the public network. The same as a mobile, okay. But the mobile port is 3389. We need to open this port. Okay, and the whole process for endpoint to access the virtual machines we have introduced, and then here we can see the authentication policies. First, VDC authentication tabs. We support here. I have introduced. We support local authentication. We can combine with the third-party authentication servers, and we support SMS authentication, USB key authentication, and hardware future code and the dynamic password. We can introduce more detail. First, we create users, and because VDI have two-factor authentication. Okay, the primary authentication we can choose local authentication and external authentication. The external authentication usually we combined with LDAP or radios. And the secondary authentication, we can choose SMS and hardware ID and the dynamic token. This is a detailed configuration. If we want to use a local password, here when we create users, we print the username and password, and I choose the local password authentication. Okay. And we can set the security policies to enhance the password. Yeah, here we click the local password, click setting, we can enable the password security options. Okay. And here is a digital certificate authentication. So we can see it from here at the local CA or external CA. And the authentication method, we choose the certificate. This used maybe NIS, and yeah. The most used edge scenario may be the AD domain single sign-on. We do the external authentication combined with the Active Directory domain server. LDAP. Yes, here we create the LDAP. And we can import users from LDAP server. And for secondary authentication, here we choose a hardware ID. The hardware ID includes hardware disk ID, network card MAC, and C disk ID, D disk ID, and A disk ID, just like this. It will collect your hardware ID to do authentication. And we can check the hardware ID standards from this page, the hardware ID page. And dynamic token, this is just the configuration is similar. You just choose different authentication method. Okay, this is authentication. And another part, the next part is we do the security policy. We set the security policy. First, we want to keep the, I have introduced our security design. It's end-to-end design. Here, if we want to keep the secure access, actually this is our secure access security design. We have the multiple authentication method, and also we can do the USB control, the USB blacklist or whitelist. We can even encryption your data disk. Okay, and we can do the application control. We can set the permissions, and we can set some prevention, capture prevention. Okay, this is PC capture prevention, and we can set the watermark to keep your data security and access security. This multi-authentication method I've introduced. And this policy set, first one, we can configure the account options. The account options, for example, we need we allow the user to modify account, and here we set the account options. We can set the just like the inactivity period and the hardware IDs. The hardware IDs numbers we can bound. There we can see it, and the login schedule. Some basic account options. And for the virtual machines, here is more, here actually all security policies we can see from here. Like we can do the PC device access, USB access, and we can audit your file export. We can do the application control. And this for graphics acceleration. If we use GPU virtualization, you can see it from here. And the encryption of user data disk. Yeah, this is to keep more security for your data. We can encrypt your disk. And here sits the USB blacklist or whitelist. Yeah, because we can control your USB access. We can control your USB only read or only write, or can read and write together. And we here we can set the whitelist to allow the specific USB. And application controls. Application control, we can set the blacklist application or whitelist application. Also, we just add here. The add method, we support the pass rule and application signature based rule, or product information based rule. We'll display more detail. Yeah, just here, just display the configuration page. I will introduce more detail in the your demo. Maybe you can see the where is the configuration page. And this is anti-screen function, anti-screen capture function. We can open this function, enable PC anti-screen capture, and we can print watermark on virtual desktop. Yeah, screen watermark. This watermark we can define by ourselves. Okay, you can show the VDI account, show his IP MAC, or show the show the time, show the time on virtual machines. The sixth one, we set permission and restrictions. What is this scenarios? Because some customer would like to restrict the access to certain type of endpoints. They only allowed the PC, not in the VDI. Okay, we can set the restriction, and we don't want to unauthorized users to access the Steam client. Also, we can set the permission. Here you can see the policy set, the permission and the restrictions. Okay, we can create the the applicable clients and actions. We can see from here. Yeah, if we want to allow the specific users can access in, we can bound the hardware ID and set some policy. For example, we can enable hardware ID based authentication. Yeah, then we can log in automatically if you match the hardware ID. Here is two results. One is approval. Another is denied. Okay. Okay, so far, let me introduce the demo platform. We can see how our platform looks like, and how the policy is set. Okay, all questions. I think I think you guys can send to the chat box, and I will explain later. Here I continue to introduce the platform. Okay, you can see this is our VMP platform, the virtualization management platform. In the homepage, you can see the overall situations about your platform, like there have how many virtual machines, how many nodes, and your CPU usage, memory usage, and storage usage. All these situations you can get from the homepage. And in the compute, first one way, if we want to create the template virtual machines, we just create new, and yeah, here we just create new virtual machines and or clone existing virtual machines or import virtual machines. Okay, we create a new virtual machine here. We choose the operation system, choose a different operation system, and here also, if we need to create a VDC, here we choose a virtualization desktop controller. And here we can change the processor, the memory, the disk. Okay. And here we can do the operations. We can do the operations or configurations for the template virtual machines. We can set the band up policy, and also we can do the clone, migrate, or export, and even we can do the update. Okay, we can once there is have any other update, we can update the template and then publish this update to all virtual machines. Here it is already is a template. We can convert to template, and once it has been a template, we also can convert to normal virtual machines. This networking, we can set, we can create a virtual switch. We can set different VLAN from here, and different virtual machines can connect, can bridge different virtual switch. Okay. And here display the virtual storage standards. Here we create 2 copies. Okay, and we can see the read speed, write speed, and so we can, yeah, we can click the virtual machine to see the more detailed standards, like the IOPS, IO speed, IO latency, storage usage, etc. And or physics desks. Physics desks standards we can see here. Okay, because our platform can check the healthy standards about your desk automatically. Okay, once there is some alert, you can check the alert from here. It will tell you what problems in your platform. Also, we support add other data stores like FCSAN, iSCSI, NFS, or local storage, local disk. Okay. And the nodes is if we want to expansion the cluster, it's easy and there is no effect for your business for expansion cluster. We just add nodes and follow this next. It will tell you, we just follow this wizard and we can complete the expansion. Okay, here we create. If the nodes in the same segment, it will be detected automatically. It will display here. We can just choose these nodes. Yeah, and in the system, we can check the lessons. And if we want to do here is some high availability setting and the backup policies for the platform. Okay, and for virtual machines, the license we can check. We can see. Yeah, now this license is an enterprise edition. Okay, the method is active by USB, and the license only has a VMP and a SAN, the storage virtualization and compute virtualization. Is based on the CPU cores. Okay, this is a VMP platform, and another platform is VDC. Through VDC, as I introduced, we can create users, we can set authentication policies, we can create a resource, we can set the security policies. All configuration actually is set in this VDI options. Okay, here VDI options, and these standards just check the system standards, the online user standards, and have any other alerts we can check here. Okay, this is the standards, and the system is some basic network setting. Okay, here is the license. We need to activate the license here, and we just and one more thing, clustering. The this VDC support clustering deployment. Okay, here we can build the cluster VDC cluster, and jump to the VDI option. First one, we need to add VMP to build the connection between VMP and VDC. We need to add new and set the URL. This is a VMP platform IP. Okay, here has a template and the username and password. We test the connectivity. First one we create the VMP, and here the virtual machines or virtual machines running on the VMP. We can see this virtual machines standards. Okay, his IP, his standards, his associated users, and some policies. Also, we can see here. This is the CPU usage, memory usage, and the agent versions. Here we'll check the virtual machines standards. And here we'll display the private disks, as well as thin client. If you use our thin client to access, here we'll display the thin client online standards and its IP MAC. Okay, and its IP MAC and version. We can set power on and shut down this some basic options from this management platform. We can control, actually we can control the thin client remotely. And this server management used for the remote application publish. Here I just jump this three part. I introduce the users and resource first, and then we can turn back to see this function. First, the users, we create users and select different authentication method. Yeah, if we want to use a local password, here we just print the username and password. And if we want to do the CA authentication or USB key authentication, we can configure the USB authentication. Here is the configuration page. And if we have the external LDAP or radius, we click these methods, and you will jump to the third-party authentication. Here we'll configure the servers actually. Yes, here we'll configure the external LDAP or radius servers. And the secondary authentication, the hardware ID, the SMS, and the dynamic token. We can choose one. Okay. This is how to create users. And the resource you can see we can support 4 types of resource. One is remote application. You can just publish one browser or one office screen to the end users. And the remote desktop is just like our remote command MSTSC. We can remote to the restaurant or to the desktop. And the shared desktop means multiple users use one virtual machines. This virtual machines just publish the different image to different users. This is similar to the remote application, because the remote application also publish the multiple browser to different users. But this shared desktop is publish the virtual machines. So you can see your desktop, and you can open the different applications or different browsers. Usually we use this virtual desktop. This is actually the private desktop. Here I create one. Yeah, the desktop. Here we print a line, and here we choose a virtual machines template. If you want to create Winton, you just create a Winton template. And the desktop type, the dedicated type, and the restore type. And this virtual machines type, we support linked clone or full clone. The different is a system disk. Okay, the linked clone, it has a shared system disk with template virtual machines, but the full clone has a separate system disks. Okay, between virtual machines and template. And if you want to enable the data encrypt, we can enable this function. And here we just print the numbers, the virtual machines you want to create it. Yes, here we print the numbers of virtual machines, and choose the run location, the data store. Okay, here we can choose the data store. This is a demo platform. I have no permissions. Yeah, just select one, and this we can keep default. Here, choose bridge virtual switch. Okay, we can choose a different virtual switch, and then click OK. And here, click Save. It will create virtual machines automatically. And the last part is the rules. After create users and resource, we need to build the collector relationship. We select one users, and select the bound resource. Okay, the bound resource. We can choose one resource, or we can choose multiple resource. And when this user access a resource, he can choose different resource to access in. And authentication, the authentication setting page. If we use external authentication servers, we just set here. Yeah, LDAP. Here we'll create a new LDAP server, as well as a radio servers. We just print the IP and the parameters about these servers. Okay. And here display the policies. Yeah, this is for account options, and here is all security policies we can set. For PC device access, we can control your PC clipboard, the hardware, to the read only or read write, and the USB control. Yeah, all this we can restriction or allowed, okay, or deny or allowed. For example, here I didn't click USB printer. Then you cannot use USB printers through the thin client. Okay. And the secure file export. Here we can enable this function. And this acceleration topology for 2D or 3D scenarios, we can open the acceleration topology to get the users better experience, access experience. And application access control. We can set blacklist or whitelist. For example, here I want to set the blacklist of some specific antivirus software. Okay, I can add here and choose one application. This application signature we need to create first. Okay, in the signature database, we need to create the application signatures, or we can, based on our application database, we have the application database. I will show you later. Yeah, and the other is application optimization, video redirection, or this some optimization methods. Okay, and the one-time optimization. Oh yeah, here. Here we can enable the PC anti-screen capture, and we can define the watermark on virtual desktop. Yeah, here we can set this function. And turn back to the signature database. We can create based on the path or application signature based rule or product information based rule. Here we can create application signature. And this is our application database. We have this all is our built-in database. Okay, you can choose different application in different scenarios. And the endpoint security. Also, we can set the endpoint security policies for endpoint access or your running environment. We can set a permission and restriction rules. For example, here we can inspect an object based on the operation system, the file, the process, and the registry source IP, etc. We can choose a specified process. Okay, here create the rules and then create the policies bound these rules. Yeah, here since the user level policy, we can assign to the specific user and select the rules. This is a security control. Okay, last part is some maintenance operations. We can check logs and we can do the packet capture. Remember the access process from the endpoint to the virtual machines. If there is some have trouble when you access to the virtual machines, there have some trouble. Actually, we can capture. We can do the packet capture from VDC. Okay, and analyze the packet. Okay, this are for our two platform. And let me see the questions. Yeah, any questions we can discuss now? The first, it's important to me to understand the comparison, the solution with VMware. Okay, the comparison with VMware or another VDI vendors. Actually, we have detailed battle card. Here I display one. Let me find the comparison with VMware. Okay. This is a Sangfor ADES competition analysis with VMware. Okay, there has more detailed introduced about VMware advantages and his or strategy analysis for VMware. Actually, you can see this. The overall market strategy for VMware is only aimed at enterprise office scenarios. But all solutions not only covered from enterprise. We have the government, the public office scenarios, and especially the education. Okay, the schools. Also, we can support. And here is some strategies and skills. For example, here we can see this red one. The VMware solution is more complex. Usually, you guys who have deployed the VMware virtual desktop, you know they need to deploy many components. Okay, but in our solution, you only need to deploy the VMP and the VDC, and all configurations you can set from VDC to centralized management. Who want to get this file? Actually, I can share this. I can share this competition analysis file to your guys. I think more detailed you can learn by yourself. Yeah, this is some one is deployment and some detailed future comparison. Okay. Oh, here has mentioned just like VMware, that depends on single host, not one for HCI and one for VDI. Now, in our new list version, also we can support one host, one single host to support HCI and VDI. Okay. Now we already support. In same platform, we can run HCI and VDI. When will be that? In the actually uh, this platform we have do the webinar to publish to introduce this new platform, and the official version will be published in the I think in the next year quarter 1, maybe just 1 or 2 months later. Okay, we already can introduce to our customers. We have this function, and in the next 1 or 2 months, we can publish the official version. Now we already have the Chinese version, Chinese version, but the English version have need to wait some time. Yeah. Okay, and the second questions. When we add a Windows firmware from a template, does it change the SSID? Sure, it will change. And turn back to the platform, you can see this actually we can collect. We can configure. Wait a minute, find. I remember here has a let's find a virtual machines. We can change the SSID actually. I forgot where to set this. In the advanced sections, we can there has no setting. Okay, this part I will check later because but I know the SSID will change. It is different because in some license, in some software license, for example, the Office license, it has a it has a mechanism to distinguish there is running on the virtual machines, and they need the different license for different virtual machines. Okay. Yeah, if there have any other questions. Yes. Oh, now if we want to change the SSID, we need to log in the background. Yeah, I checked this part. Oh, sorry for this this guy's question. If it will change the SSID, the SSID will change the clone derived from template. Yeah, I have just confirmed. There is no change. The SSID is the same, but if you want to change, we can change from background. Yeah, this I need to clarify. Same. Yeah, okay. So far, any questions? Oh, username and password. Yeah, okay. If no questions, I think we can finish today. So thank you everyone to attend this training. Hope you can. Yeah, if you guys meet any scenarios about VDI, any questions, you can send to our emails, send to or ask soft one, or send to our official emails. Okay, goodbye.
Thank you, Shiran. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice day. Goodbye.